Thank you so much, Balaji Institute, and all the faculty, the authorities who've given me this honor to be here, and a privilege because being with young minds, and I was just sharing that, is a very very energizing. All right, so that's the energy I am going to take from you all, and and give you some food for thought for sure. So thank you so much for having me here. Congratulations on the Cell for Women. And like I was sharing in one of the discussions earlier at a very closed group uh, in the political scenario, and I was like, there's so much need at the moment to build our youth for taking up leadership. If you're saying youth is the future of our country, then there's a greater need to focus on that. And I'm so delighted to see Balaji Institute taking that step. So a big round of applause to all of you all before I start. And I'm sure y'all are going to be a major contributor in that direction. Having said that, talking about empowerment, and I'm going to jump directly into that. And I'm a trainer, okay, by the way, children. So I'm a teacher, half teacher. So I'm going to ask questions and I'm going to need answers. It's not going to be a one way कि यहाँ से ही बातें होने वाली है. So आपकी क्या विचार है empowerment पे? What is empowerment? And I'm not saying women empowerment here, okay? Please mind that. I'm talking about empowerment just as a word. Anyone? Come on, quickly. Rapid fire. एक यहाँ से आंसर आना चाहिए, एक वहाँ से आना चाहिए. Sorry, say that louder. Yes, strengthening, all right. Support, all right. Uplifting. Authority, yes. And with that comes responsibility as well. So that's a good one. Yes, all of that, and there's so much definitions available online. However, what stayed with me is empowerment is about providing individuals or group with tools, mind you, tools, resources, knowledge, and confidence to take control of their own lives, make informed decisions, and contribute meaningfully to society. Okay, do you want me to repeat that? Empowerment is about providing individuals or groups with tools, resources, knowledge, and confidence to take control of their own lives and thereby help to make decisions and contribute meaningfully to the society. ये नहीं है कि हम empowered है बस हमारे लिए कुछ करना है. Eventually, whatever you do needs to positively impact the society by large. There's just one topic that I'm going to come to very soon, okay, and that's where I want to dwell a little more today. However, the other points that I just spoke of, सबसे पहले है knowledge or education. And one of the reasons why all of y'all are here, right, in this institute, because you want to improve on that. उसके बिना कुछ है जिंदगी में? कोई है यहाँ पे जो कहे कि क्या है, चलता है बिना एजुकेशन के? Anyone? नहीं ना? नहीं तो हम यहाँ पे होते ही नहीं. And that is primary. कुछ भी हो जाए वो सबसे important है, right? And to have an institute like this who focuses so much on that as well as your overall development as well. Okay? क्योंकि उसके साथ साथ जो चीज़ें चाहिए या ज़रूरी है is where I'm coming to now. Let's talk about and I spoke about access to education, which we have, very, very important. And I was just sharing that when I realized why it is so important is when I was at Mrs. Universe in the year 2017, November. And I was at Durban. So if you know of South Africa and Durban and the socio-economic conditions there, okay? Uh, the children there where we visited, and I was there for almost 15 years, and we had visits to NGOs and schools where really they were in poverty. However, the interest of the children to be educated. Okay, कुछ भी हो जाए घर पे कुछ चल रहा हो, they would run and come to school. क्यों? Because they knew that education is the way to elevate their status or their current living standards or the issues that they are facing. And when I interacted closely with them is when I realized how important it is. Frankly, okay, and there are some very hard facts I'm going to make today. As Indians, हमको वो बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा उपलब्ध है, okay, the opportunities to education, the institutes that are there. However, we don't value it as much as it should, okay? And like we said, knowledge is the key. And I realized that so closely there when I was at Durban. And then talking about fostering inclusivity and diversity. Now, what is inclusion? I think सबसे उसका जो base है ना, I would say, is mutual respect. Okay, the moment you start doing that and respecting each other, I think वो problem of inclusivity or not doesn't come. Respecting each other as an individual with the positives and the not so positives, okay? And I think you've won more than half that game, right? And when we talk about empowerment, and it's like so rightly said even by the two youngsters over there, is that it's more about recognizing, okay, or encouraging, recognizing your strengths. Women, do we need empowerment? Do we? No, why are we even talking about it then today? Okay, that's the point, right? But nahi. Here we are talking about empowerment in the sense of recognizing what you have within. Okay, you already have those strengths. You already have those capabilities. Or if you don't, then you have mentors like you have available around you here who are going to guide you, who are guiding you, right? To find your strengths, to find your path, to find your goal. And then set yourself at a pedestal where, like I said, you are the future, right? ये हम सब कहते हैं. Youth is the future of our country. And now coming to that last point, jo hai, and it really stuck with me, is confidence to take control of your own life. Okay, now what is confidence? Is this on? Check. It's not. Do we have to on it here? Okay, now check. So what is confidence? बहुत सारा डिस्कशन होता है कॉन्फिडेंस पे, है ना? अच्छा, ऐसा कोई है यहाँ पे जो कहता है कि इट्स ओके, मुझे नहीं चाहिए कॉन्फिडेंस, क्या ज़रूरत है? एनीवन हियर? कोई नहीं, राइट? अच्छा, किस किस को कॉन्फिडेंस चाहिए कि यस, दिस इज व्हाट आई नीड इन लाइफ? यार कुछ लोग ऐसे कि ठीक है, मुझे आधा ही कॉन्फिडेंस चलेगा, ऐसे नहीं है ना? सो वी ऑल नीड इट, राइट? लेकिन ये है क्या? ये किस मर्ज की दवा है? ये क्या है? सेल्फ अश्योरेंस एंड बिलीफ, दैट्स गुड. सेल्फ एस्टीम, इस तरफ से, इस तरफ से. Attitude, all right, attitude is an attitude, or what? Okay, good. Or confidence? Self-belief. And thank you for all these answers, because you're leading on to what actually is required. We see only confidence as the thing. And why am I talking about confidence? Is because empowerment, yes, and all the the points that we talked about, and whatever is needed to feel empowered, and all of that, if you're not confident enough, how are you going to then take that, what is given to you, right? How are you even going to put it forward? I mean, as simple as campus interview में जा रहे हो बिना confidence के, जो आपने 2 साल सीखा है, क्या आप वहाँ पे बता पाओगे? Okay, you may not even speak a word. Then what is the use of whatever you have done? ये बहुत ज़रूरी है. भले, I mean, I'm giving example of campus interview, लेकिन ये it's a requirement everywhere, है ना? So confidence is something जिसको हम देखते हैं, लेकिन इस तक की journey जो है, okay, it's not कि one fine day you'll get up and just take a pill and say yes, now I'm feeling confident. ऐसी दवाई नहीं है वो. You need to work towards it, right? And what are the areas that you need to work on? And why am I going to spend time on this is people is that because number one, it is required. Okay, we all agreed to that. Yes, we did, right? That we all want it, we need it. But how to get there? Or what are the hurdles that you need to surpass before you get there? Okay, so you see it there on your screen. Confidence कहाँ आता है? शुरुआत में आ रहा है? नहीं, वो कहाँ आ रहा है? Somewhere down the middle towards the end of your journey. What you see here is your journey, your graph. Okay. Now what happens before this? Isn't that a question to you? कि अगर confidence कहीं बीच में है, जिसके बारे में हम continuously सोच रहे हैं, लेकिन इसके पहले हमें क्या करना है? या इसके पहले ऐसी कौन सी चीज़ें जो हमें रोकती है confidence तक पहुँचने के लिए? या जिस पे work किया तो हम confidence तक जल्दी पहुँच सकते हैं? Okay? What is that? Now, you all may have some child at home, or you might have seen your younger siblings who have grown up. Okay? So at birth, वहीं से शुरुआत हुई है सबकी, है ना? Now, जब बच्चा होता है घर में, शुरुआत में कुछ पता नहीं होता है, बस रोना आता है उसको, है ना? लेकिन धीरे धीरे after 3 months, okay, the phase is he'll start playing with his hands, the legs. If you've noticed, have you? Right? So when that happens, what is he now figuring out? Is that, oh, I have a body, I have fingers. Suddenly he realizes he's got a voice also, or she's got a voice. And then you start hearing and seeing more of what the baby can do. है ना? Now, from this time up until perhaps 5 to 7 years is when that body image is forming. Okay? Now we've heard so much about body shaming, about a lot of other things, and kahi na kahi, kabhi na kabhi, and I can challenge you that most of you have faced it. Whether at home, whether with friends, whether elsewhere, we have come across this. Okay? Now when we talk about body image, what is happening? You're realizing and from here you will develop your self-worth. Okay? And we are coming to that. Now just from, and why do I share this so passionately, okay, people? Is that while I was growing up, and you'll also find it in my TEDx talk on YouTube, and I've shared it very, very openly, that while I was growing up, I grew up as a black sheep of the family, okay? So, dusky skinned or dark skinned, and so all of that I've been hearing while I grew up, from within or from elsewhere, right? And with all of that, so from a very bubbly person, suddenly I became an introvert. And then to find myself back again when I started a career, and then I decided I want to join airlines. Okay, now aviation is a field where you really need to speak. Every day you're coming across with new people. Okay, now how can you be so self-conscious, okay, and then want to be in an airlines. I said, nahi, if I want to achieve my dreams, I need to get over certain things. Now, what are those things? And I'm sharing this out of my experience and out of the fact that this is the image cycle that we go through, okay? And that is when suddenly you come to realize that, okay, these are the things you can't change. Okay, you're born with these things. So learn to accept yourself as you are. Okay, I'm giving you now these pointers which will then help yourself in feeling confident and then eventually feel empowered. Okay? Number one, learn to just accept yourself as you are. Because certain things you can't change. So I was told when I was going to Mrs. Universe that, oh, do you even know what kind of models you see there? So if all of you have seen the Miss World and the Miss Universe, okay, the Mrs. Universe is typically on the same lines. So I had about 100-odd women from all around the world who were there, and when I reached there, there were some who I had to look like this and speak because they were that tall, right? And before I was going, I was told that, number one, you already look like a mother of two, okay? So there comes the body image, that, oh, you're overweight. Number one, do you really think you can go like this? That's not a place for people like us, okay? Number two, this is XYZ doctors. Please go get a skin lightening done, okay? Because that's a place where you really need to look good. Yes, you need to look and feel good. Why? Because you want to do it for yourself and not because what people want to see or what are the standards. What are the standards? What are the body image standards? It's what we define, what we have defined or what we have put forward. Okay? So so to some extent you do get carried away with all of this. And I know children, and I'm saying children because my son at the age of, my elder son at the age of around 8 or 9, he comes home and he's very quiet. And then I know that, when that changes. And I asked him, what happened? So he said, Mummy, why am I dark? And can you imagine that at the age of 7, 8, and 9 is the question that you get. And that's the reason why I stress so much on these few points. Because agar इस hurdle को आप पार नहीं करोगे ना तो वो confidence तक आप नहीं पहुँचोगे. Okay? And then of course there was a series of discussion and talk that we had, and we went over that hurdle. But yes, these are the things that eventually I was like, nothing doing. I'm going to Mrs. Universe the way I am, because I, number one, don't want to lose my identity, because when I go there eventually I'll be somebody else and I'll not be Shruti. Okay? So I'm just going to go the way I am. And of course, कहीं ना कहीं वो डर होता है, okay? कि oh my God, they are taller than me, they are much slimmer than me, they are, all of that happens. And when we look around, that's what we are doing these days, right? Comparing with each other. आप compare करोगे तो आप नहीं आगे बढ़ोगे, right? भगवान ने हमें बनाया ही masterpiece है, unique है ना? डिज़ाइनर पीस है, ऑलवेज से हम डिज़ाइनर पीस है, एक ही है ज़िंदगी में इस धरती पे. सो उस पे फोकस करो, ओके? एंड व्हेन यू आर आउट देयर, लेट्स से इन एन इंटरव्यू, इन द मार्केट, यू आर योर ओन ब्रांड एम्बेसडर. फिर आप अपने आप को कैसे मार्केट करोगे? ओके, सो वी विल कम टू दैट. बट दैट इज देन व्हाट आई सेड, दैट नो, आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू गो द वे आई एम. एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स, राइट फ्रॉम बीइंग struggling with depression, introvert, and all of that, and then winning the confidence title. Now, doing all of that is when I realized why these points are so important. Okay? Having said that, okay, once you feel good about yourself, once you start thinking good about yourself, is when your self-image is either going to be positive or negative. Okay? What is self-image? जो आप अपने बारे में सोचते हो. Where do you see yourself? Oh, I'm good for nothing, I can't do this. Okay? Or that, okay, so what if I can't do this, but I can do 1, 2, 3 other things better than everybody else. Right? And That is what then builds your self-image. Going forward, what do we have? You all spoke about the self-esteem. What is self-esteem? अब मुझे वहाँ से और वहाँ से आंसर्स चाहिए. Self-esteem. ये टर्म्स हम बहुत सुनते हैं, हम बहुत यूज़ करते हैं, लेकिन क्या हम इसके डेप्थ में जाते हैं कि ये क्यों है, क्यों ज़रूरी है, क्यों लोग इस पे बात करते हैं, क्यों they say that you need to have this. And can you see it's a gradual graph? All of this is leading you to becoming confident. Because if you don't think and feel good about yourself, if what you think about yourself or your self-esteem is not positive, you are not moving ahead. That is a chain in your leg. आप वहीं पे रहने वाले हो. Okay, one nice story about zoo में सब लोग गए कभी ना कभी लाइफ में. Zoo everyone? Okay. So हाथी वहाँ पे होता है, चेन बांध के उसको खड़ा हुआ रखते हैं वहाँ पे, है ना? Right? Is it so difficult for him to break that chain and run away? But he's still there. Right? क्यों? क्योंकि उसको बचपन से कंडीशन किया गया है कि यही तुम्हारा दायरा है. That chain is holding him back. And somewhere all this, can you see, whatever we have just spoken about is from our childhood. These are those chains or those limiting beliefs जो हमें जकड़े रखते हैं, पीछे रखते हैं, right? So now today, food for thought, when you go home, what are those things that are holding you back, right? Note them down. And homework नहीं बोलूँगी, but please do this for self-assessment, okay? Because these things are really important when you go forward. What are those things that are holding you back? Write them down, identify them. क्योंकि जब तक awareness नहीं है ना खुद को, या खुद को नहीं पता, how are you going to work on it? Lot of times we just answered that पता नहीं मुझे क्या हो रहा है, but I'm just feeling like this. But वो पता नहीं, आपको पता नहीं होगा तो किसको पता होगा, right? So start thinking about it for yourselves. Now self-esteem, जब आप खुद के बारे में, खुद के लिए अच्छा सोचोगे, अच्छा बोलोगे, that's why I think, you know, there's so much happening about positive affirmations, है ना? ये क्यों हो रहा है? Have you seen? I mean, trend है आजकल Instagram and everywhere else. Your daily affirmations are coming, your positive affirmations. क्यों है? क्योंकि जब आप इसको कहते हो, इसको internalize होता है, the brain is continuously internalizing it. And then eventually you start feeling it also, right? And that is then what is helping in building your self-esteem or making it a little positive. Can we move ahead? And eventually, do you see, all of this is then leading to your self-confidence. बस directly self-confidence तक कैसे पहुँचोगे आप? If you don't go through these steps. Now, anywhere over here in this cycle, if you're going to get stuck, mind you, you're going to go back. Reverse gear डल जाता है. Okay, for example, the moment you start doubting yourself, then you'll start moving back. Self-doubt, oh, I'm not good enough, look at him, look at her. Okay, and then that will start going back. Now, people, as Indians, we are just stuck here in the self-confidence bit. इसके आगे हम शायद ही बढ़ पा रहे. Okay, and I'm saying this very, very, very openly, and I keep saying this because there are very few who focus on the next aspect, which is self-competence. Okay, and why do I say that? How many matrimony ads here say dusky bride चलेगी? पढ़ी है कभी matrimony ads किसी ने? Okay, अभी भी घर पे चर्चा होती होगी कि हाँ अभी ब्राइड ढूंढनी है भाई के लिए, मेरे कोई मित्र साथी है यहाँ पे बैठे हुए हैं, है ना? तो ये सब होता है, this is with us. And unless we get out this mindset, people, we are not heading anywhere. And trust me, the eye-opener for me was that Mrs. Universe stage. Because there I had a super confident, Mrs. Africa, who was so comfortable in her skin. And she was maybe far more well informed or knowledgeable than what I felt at that moment. And then I thought, okay, why are we so much focused on looks? Yes, presentable hona zaruri hai. To look and feel good for yourself is important so that you can perform good. Okay, as a image consultant, I always say that. Yes, it is. लेकिन उसको कितनी हद तक फोकस करना है या उस पर कितनी हद तक उसी पे बने रहना है. Okay, that is the mindset I'm talking about, right? I hope you all are with me till here, because people, agar until we don't get out of this, you're not moving ahead in the graph, and you're going to see that if you move ahead, where are you going to reach in life? Okay, and once you reach there is truly when you're going to really feel empowered ki हाँ भाई, now I think I've arrived. Okay, what is self-competence? सुना होगा ये term. Self-competence? A little louder, please. Challenging yourself. Okay, part of it. Better than yesterday, yes. And how would you do that? Yes, very important. So your goals और कुछ एक focus होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. लेकिन वहाँ तक पहुँचने के लिए आप खुद को तो सक्षम बनाइए पहले. ये आप कैसे करोगे? Through education, through gaining knowledge, है ना? And that is how you're going to increase your competence level in this competitive world. Okay, one of the major reasons why all of you all are here in this institute, right? And we just heard, India's leading or one of the leading. True? Now, it's not just said na कि आप यहाँ पे क्यों हो. Increase your competence level because it is a competitive world. आप पीछे छूट जाओगे. I'm not encouraging you to run that race, okay? लेकिन ये करते करते आप उसको अलग तरीके से कैसे करोगे? Is to know your strengths or your USPs. Like I said, there are many things. हम खुद के बहुत बड़े critic हैं. मुझे ये नहीं आता, मुझे वो नहीं आता. You know, whenever I do a SWOT with college students, and I tell them कि weaknesses लिखो एक side पे, धड़ 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 ना. I don't even finish it and saying it, and they've got a list completed. The moment I say strengths लिखो, they are thinking, अब क्या लिखूँ यहाँ पे? Strengths के side पे. Hardly 2, 3, 4 आते हैं. Please sit to think, what are those things that you do better? Okay? Focus on those to overshadow what you can't do really well. क्योंकि आप उसी पे या I'll say it for now weaknesses, but these are developmental areas. ऐसा नहीं है कि इसको आप strength में नहीं बदल सकते हो. कोशिश ज़रूर कर सकते हो. लेकिन जो already आपके strengths है उस पे work कीजिए. Okay? So that eventually you're going to feel confident, and then you're going to, feel empowered. Right? Now that's self-competence. Add on to your knowledge, your experience, okay? Your competency level. Your skills. Add on to skills, newer skills as per what is needed आजकल के ज़माने में. है ना? काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें हैं. Spend your time wisely. It's very easy to just sit scrolling on reels, right? But how is that video made? Is it AI? Then what is it? How is it done? Get into that mind frame, okay, of research and increasing your competency level. अब क्या आता है इसके आगे? Finally, is your self-actualization. Any idea? Big term. But क्या हो सकता है? Satisfied, and you feel okay, now I feel I've arrived, or I've done everything. या खुद को इतना I use that word again, खुद को इतना सक्षम बनाया है कि अब ऐसे लगता है yes, now I feel good about myself. I mean, you know, examples of all the saints around us, perhaps Gautam Buddha, you know, very, very learned, and then eventually reaching the self-actualization stage. Something for people like us may be a very, very far-fetched thing, लेकिन इसके पहले के तो चीज़ें हम ढंग से करें, so that eventually it makes us feel good, it makes us feel confident about ourselves, and then, of course, empowered. Yes, no, maybe? Suddenly there was silence, I was wondering. Is it yes, no, maybe? Okay. So that's basically, again, what I wanted to share through my journey. And being at Mrs. Universe, that is what I thought. That is what I experienced. And when I came back, I got myself certified as a soft skills trainer and an image consultant, and working extensively with college students. By doing all of this, okay, please remember that respect, which I spoke of, or mutual respect, inclusivity, all of that is very important. The way you make people feel will stay with them for a longer time. They may forget what you said, but they won't forget the way you made them feel. And all the more reason to focus on or develop your soft skills. Okay, let me tell you, before I close, that a lot of job success, or 85% of job success, depends on your soft skills. Okay, I don't say it. Harvard research says it. Okay, and it's available. You can Google it. So focus on these things. Develop these aspects so that going forward, these are the things which will take you a long way, make you feel good, do good, and eventually be successful, feel empowered, right? So thank you so much, and that is all I had to share today.